Well, Pilgrims, if you've been following us for a while, you understand what the Pugnacious Pilgrim is all about, what our hope is and why we exist. And we exist essentially to get the message out, to get the truth out, to help Christians understand how Christians are supposed to look at the world from a Christian point of view. And part of that obviously includes telling the truth. Sometimes when the truth is hard to handle, sometimes when the truth is hard to find, sometimes when the truth is not easy to tell, we are here to continue to tell the truth, and that's our hope and our aim. And so it's with great sadness and some excitement that we share today that Mike and I have been restricted for 30 days by Facebook. That's right, we have been restricted from putting out live content, part of which Mike has been faithfully doing since the end of last year, which is reading through the Bible each and every day on Facebook Live. He can no longer do that for 29 days, nor can we advertise as if we'd ever pay a buck to Facebook to advertise in the first place. But nonetheless, let's move on. Why were we banned, you ask? Well, in our opinion, we were banned for being pugnacious and for telling the truth. If you've been paying attention, there was a Reuters article last night that said Facebook, or Meta as they're now known, is going to lift their hate crimes policy specifically to Ukraine because of the war. And so no longer are they going to be considering hate crime or hate speech content, including the of Vladimir Putin hate speech on their platform, specifically because of the war and specifically because of which side Facebook has chosen to take in the war on Ukraine. And so Mike and I both, that kind of hit us as awkward. Like, why would hate speech be acceptable at any point in time? And who really gets to be the broker of what hate speech is okay and what hate speech isn't? And so to be pithy, like we typically try to do, to use satire and to use humor and sarcasm to kind of tackle and approach real issues, I put out a meme this morning and I'll display it here. And this meme was intended to be humorous, but it was also intended to try and provoke thought. And almost immediately after sharing this meme, we received a notification from Facebook that we had consistently violated on multiple occasions their policies on hate speech. And so because we shared some thoughts on our opinion of Facebook's decision on allowing hate speech and used terms like murder and hate speech in our post, somehow we violated their policy on hate speech, which had just been lifted last night on Ukraine, including efforts to call for Vladimir Putin's murder. So why is this important? Well, I think you should care because this is exactly what we've been talking about. Certain speech is going to be policed. Certain thoughts, certain ideologies, certain worldviews are being policed by social media platforms. And of course, it's impacted us in the past. We've been restricted on our personal accounts. We've been banned or blocked for a few days just for weighing in with Christian ideas, Christian thought, things that really are biblical doctrine and biblical theology, but they don't play nice in the arena of the world. And so be aware. Here's another example where you can't even tell the truth because the truth is now considered hate to those who hate the truth. And so we're sharing this because we're hoping that as our pilgrims, those who have followed us, that you would help us out by sharing our podcast, share this story, share this video, get it out there. There's a lot of people that just ignore what they haven't personally experienced or personally seen. And what we're hoping is that people can begin to see that what we've been speaking of for over a year now is real. It's not just something that those people sitting in their grandma's basement or their mom's basement wearing tinfoil hats are making up. It's real stuff, and it's affecting real people, and it's affecting real truth from hitting the streets and hitting the platforms. And those that control the platforms control the narrative. And if you don't believe that, Just look at what we've been banned for. So this isn't a pity party. It's just another example of how the left thinks, how the left works. And unfortunately, they're in charge of a lot of the platforms that are out there for us to get information out. And so we would ask you to support us in any way that you can. If you like the content that we put out, we certainly appreciate that. But what you can do to return the favor for us is just share our podcast, share our page, share our Facebook, invite your friends to join in on the conversation, and we'd love to see our numbers increase from this, even though Facebook would love to see us disappear. God bless you, pilgrims. Stay pugnacious.